Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into your spice cabinet to completely demystify turmeric. Whether you know it as that vibrant yellow powder in your favorite curry, or maybe as a trendy daily supplement, its biological profile is, quite frankly, absolutely fascinating. So we're going to unpack exactly how it works inside your body.
Just take a look at the sheer complexity of this plant. It operates almost like this beautiful, comprehensive biological mandala. We're starting right there at the center with those earthy roots, and you can see how its effects radiate outward. They branch out into complex chemical structures, specific pharmacological pathways, clinical uses, and of course, strict safety warnings. It's a perfect visual of how a single botanical can trigger this massive cascading impact on human biology.
Okay, here is our roadmap for this explainer. We'll be hitting four main sections: origins and active constituents, mechanisms and pharmacology, clinical features and uses, and finally, risks and drug interactions. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. Origins and active constituents, the botanical roots and chemistry.
So the really crucial point to understand here is that turmeric's therapeutic power doesn't just come from eating the whole generalized root. No, the true engine of its efficacy actually comes from a highly potent, very specific class of compounds known as curcuminoids. Whenever we talk about the science of turmeric, we're really talking about the science of these curcuminoids.
And here is the exact trio of active constituents doing all that heavy lifting for us. We've got dimethylcurcumin, bidimethylcurcumin, and the most famous one of the bunch, curcumin. You can think of these three specific molecular structures as the literal keys that unlock the widespread physiological changes we associate with this plant.
Moving on to Section 2, Mechanisms and Pharmacology. How turmeric alters the body.
It is incredibly cool to see how microscopic pathway alterations actually result in massive pharmacological effects. The benefits are incredibly widespread. We're talking anti-inflammatory actions, antioxidant defenses, neuroprotective qualities that literally safeguard your brain, joint health support, digestive aid, and even immune modulatory effects. This isn't magic, right? It's the direct result of those curcuminoids intercepting chemical signals at the microscopic level inside your body.
What you really need to take away from this is that turmeric is not just a single-action botanical. While some compounds out there just flip one cellular switch on or off, turmeric acts as a multi-target botanical agent. It is modulating multiple cellular pathways all at the exact same time. Think of it less like a solo instrument playing one note and a lot more like a conductor directing an entire biological orchestra to achieve that huge list of benefits we just went over.
Which brings us to Section 3, Clinical Features and Uses. From microscopic action to clinical application.
So, those overarching pharmacological effects, they're used clinically to address serious real-world conditions. We're talking about the management of chronic inflammation, direct applications for joint pain and arthritis relief, vital support for combating cognitive decline, and broad immune function support. This right here is the translation of raw chemistry into tangible, everyday human health.
If you look closely at our map, there is this continuous, connected web of causality at play. Nature directly intersects with therapeutic medicine in this straight visual line, starting from the soil where the curcumilonga root grows, down into the molecular changes in your cells, all the way out to actual, tangible symptom relief in the human body. Now, we absolutely have to cover Section 4, Risks and Drug Interactions, the safety guardrails and contraindications. Look, anything powerful enough to heal is absolutely powerful enough to disrupt. While turmeric is totally safe for most people in everyday culinary amounts, supplementation is a completely different biological reality. Mild side effects like nausea and diarrhea can happen, and more importantly, they can easily escalate to severe gastrointestinal distress if you take really high doses. The dose always makes the poison, even with natural botanicals.
You also definitely want to note these specific contraindications. If you have gallbladder disorders or if you're pregnant, extreme caution is advised. Most importantly, though, because turmeric actively affects your blood pathways and inflammation, there is an urgent warning here regarding bleeding disorders and an absolute necessity to stop using it prior to any surgery. That is a critical safety protocol.
Furthermore, turmeric actively interacts with some pretty powerful common medications. We're talking about anticoagulants and antiplatelets like warfarin and aspirin, plus antidiabetics and immunosuppressants. Remember earlier how we talked about turmeric being a multi-target agent? Well, combining it with multi-target pharmaceuticals makes simultaneous use highly complex and potentially very dangerous. These botanical compounds can actually amplify or inhibit your prescribed medications.
So, as we wrap up our botanical tour today, this disclaimer perfectly summarizes the responsible approach you need to take. We've just explored a really comprehensive scientific overview, but it is strictly for educational purposes. Because of the vast array of cellular targets and those serious drug interactions we just covered, you absolutely must consult a healthcare professional before integrating therapeutic doses into your daily routine.
I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. We've just spent this whole explainer looking at a singular root, something used for thousands of years, that we are only just now mapping out with this level of microscopic precision. The bridge between ancient botanicals and modern pharmacology is really just beginning to be built. So what other profound molecular secrets are sitting quietly in your spice cabinet, just waiting to be uncovered? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep questioning the science behind everything.